back and now tune into the other side of sports. It's your boy Laws. I'm in here with Aaron. We in this joint rocking out. You already know. Going to get into some stuff today. Um, you know, bro, I I've been kind of under a rock. I haven't seen a lot of stuff that's going on out here. I haven't been watching the Wizards. Forgive me. Them Batman's too trash for me to watch. They on now. What's the probability they make it? They squeak into the playoffs or the playing game?
Zero.
Zero.
Dog, they was just hovering. It was just like they was like one game under 500, two games under 500. I looked up these Bama's 9 games under 500, 3 games behind the Bulls. Dog, it's over. And then enough games left. They would basically have to win out and then had the Bulls basically like lose what like 6 or 7 out of their last games.
Mhm.
It's over.
Yeah, I'm not optimistic that the Wizards will be able to climb out of the hole that they're in. And don't worry, I got a rant queued up. Aaron, no, the rant it's gonna be epic this year. I trust and believe it's gonna be the best rant I ever had in my entire existence. You already know. You already- No, this joke about to finish the rants of all rants. I just trust and believe, dog. I got one cooked up because just the coaching, the the lack of urgency. What happened? Where the star players at, dog? Bradley Bill be out and Kuzma not playing. Have they given up too?
They know it's over
Them-
too. Dog,
Yeah, they
blow
know.
the joint is over. These Bama's are sorry. It's too much talent to have the record that they have, dog. Blow it up.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Uh, when they ain't gonna sell the team, bro? I haven't heard nothing. Like, is there
Big
any
news
news?
today.
Any move?
Yeah.
Huh?
So the Harris group, what was it?
Okay.
Joshua Harris,
Uh huh.
Mitchell Rails, and Magic Johnson. They submitted
Uh
a
huh.
fully qualified, a fully funded $6 billion offer because they were talking about five this and five that. Dan
Uh
like
huh.
nah. So they submitted the $6 billion offer. Then the Bama Steve Papalopoulos or whatever the Greek
Uh
Bama from
huh.
Canada is, he submitted a fully funded $6 billion joint, basically matching the bid today too.
Okay.
So they, the numbers creeping up, and then
Is it a
Bezos was
bidding
still like,
war?
I mean, right now they got the same number, so I imagine Bezos is sitting there looking like, okay, the floor is 6 billion. Can you get up to 6.5? So, like, what is it going to take for Dan to swallow his ego and be like, I can't turn down 500 mil. I'm just gonna go ahead and sell to this battle, or is he really that much of a mental patient where he gonna pass up an extra 200 to 500 mil to not sell to Bezos? So
Mm.
it'll be interesting.
Dog, I just I'm I just want it to be over, dog. Can we just get the Bama out of here and move on with life? It's Joe ridiculous, bro. This Bama just been around, been around, been around. 6 billion. I'd have took the offer already. Joe been sold. Uh, but we got the draft coming up. Don't worry, we're gonna get into the player analysis. I'm trying to give my man D some time, get situated. When we squared away, we not in April. What's the draft in April, right?
Yeah, we got a
Yeah,
month.
so we got some time. Hang on.
It's only
Hang
like two
on.
positions they want to hear about, Paul. So
That's it. That's it. Quarterback, we already did that. You want to talk about the wide receivers and running back, whoever gonna score points for you. Maybe a couple DM bammers who gonna, you know, bust out this year. Everybody else, who cares? Who cares? We get the cornerbacks right, all that. Bammers don't come back like, young, y'all was right about the cornerbacks. Jai Alexander, he a beast. Blah, blah. They don't never come back talking about that. So it's pointless. We're not gonna waste a whole bunch of time on tackles and stuff. Like, dog, we told you that tackle. It don't matter at the end of the day. It doesn't matter at all. Uh, speaking of the NFL, Jim Trotter, the reporter for the NFL Network.
Yep.
They fired my man, dog. Actually, I take that back. They didn't fire him. They
Didn't
asked
pick up
him,
his contract.
yeah, crud ball. So, Jim Trotter, one of the most respected and thorough journalists in the sports media, wouldn't stop asking NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell about the league's lack of diversity in his head coaching and front office ranks, as well as within the NFL media newsroom. Monday, NFL media got rid of Trotter, one of the few non-black athlete analysts it had. Trotter announced that his tenure with the NFL media was ending. So, of course, he thanked them. Um, Nothing says commitment to diversity like letting go of a black employee who asks why actions don't match up with flowery statements, especially as the league is being sued by 3 black coaches, alleging racism, hiring practices, and exile black quarterback for protesting wanton killers and people who look like him by agents of the state. So, I mean, is this racially stimulated, Aaron? Is this?
I get tired of like having to pretend like we don't know what it is and like we not right when they're like I read one comment back was like y'all blinded by race. You blinded to race, I feel like. Like people just don't want to have the conversation because they want it to be something else so they can find a love affair with football and everything else that's going on. This is not an accident. They have to keep because they can't compete at most of the positions involved. They got to keep the head coaches, the O coordinators, the quarterbacks. They got to keep as much whiteness as they can, and that's one of the ways they do it is with the head coaching position. Or it's gonna be like the NBA where you know what I mean, like the joint completely changed. Then you watch what the American market did. They basically,
Mhm.
for the most part, turn their back on. If you look at movies, it's so many things in America. If you look at it, like when it's whitewashed, it's at a certain point. But if it gets too black, then it's like it just disappears from the face of the earth, or it just becomes something that gets put on the back burner. The only exception is rap music.
That's it. That's it. I mean, I, it's a fair question to ask about the diversity in the league. It's not changing,
It's getting
and
worse.
it's getting worse. And you're telling me that it's getting better. We're doing all these different things. Dog, holding a banquet with black Bama's at the jump is not changing anything. That's not enough.
And the point he
It
made was that the reason he asked at the Super Bowl is because Goodell had made all these statements the last time he talked to him, but he hadn't noticed any improvement since the last time he saw him. He said Goodell doesn't make himself available, you know what I mean, for him to be able to ask these kind of questions any other time. So he felt it was important to go ahead and ask the Bama then again. But you know what it is. They're
yeah,
partners with these networks and all this other kind of stuff. And if you don't think they had to pull all the executives behind the scenes like, hey, this dude is he's becoming a
we
problem.
gotta get him out of here. He bad for business. He gonna ask this question every time up. Try to ask those questions of Goodell in a form he did because he had no other option. Though Goodell, as the league's commissioner, is the de facto head of the NFL media, and the league offices set NFL media's annual budget. Trotter didn't get access to Goodell except for those annual State of the League sessions before the Super Bowl. He never got an answer to his question either. Not in the moment in Phoenix in February, and Trotter told the sports media reporter Richard Dice that no one with the league followed up with him post Super Bowl on his questions about the persistently homo- homogeneous hiring practices this year or last. The NFL can't be troubled by silly things like public sentiment or doing the right thing for the sake of doing the right thing. It
It's intentional, dog. This is not an accident. It's not a happenstance. None of the above, dog. It's intentional. It's
yeah.
intentional. It's the same thing
I
with Lamar. Like Bama's keep, oh y'all got a big mouth. Y'all don't want to go along with the way we doing stuff. It's like they outright punishing Bama's in public, making an example out of Bama's, dog.
yeah. Now, speaking of which, the RG3 situation, I mean, I'm sorry, not RG3, Lamar Jackson. RG3's comments on that situation were
99.
very interesting. And I don't know if you haven't heard them, um, you should definitely go find them and listen to them. But essentially, what he was saying is that it's basically the league is punishing Lamar Jackson for not playing ball.
Have they heard
In a
that before
nutshell,
somewhere?
we have. Yeah, the league is a system, and that system is run on people playing ball. Like he brought up the fact that there are many NFL players who negotiated a contract without an agent. So that narrative that you have to have an agent is not true. We've said it several times, though. They could pay Lamar the money. The money can't not be the issue because they've already got the money 10 times over. And as soon as if a team, any team, I mean, Lamar Jackson recently came out and said to the ownership, like when I guess Jim Harbaugh was about to do a press conference, that he no longer he wanted to be basically traded. Um, that team that trades for him and leaves the two twos and whatever, they like soon as Lamar Jackson's name gets printed on the back of their jersey, the Jones getting sold out. So what are we talking about, people? And them jerseys expensive, Aaron. When you last time you bought one of them Jones? The
Been a minute.
authentic Jones.
Been a minute.
It's pricey.
Yeah,
So
300. 300.
yeah,
I remember the
so
last time the authentic dress was in the 300s though.
yeah, the Jones, you getting that Jones going quick. Going quick. You getting all the bread. Um, yeah, I just I mean we like kick it. The horse is dead. The horse been shot with a 12 gauge shotgun. The horse just sitting in the middle of the road, dog. This joint still there, and we still kicking it, and we still. But I, until it move off the street, it's gonna have to get kicked. I'm sorry because it's ridiculous.
And the thing that is absolutely amazing out of all of this is this what, the 27th, 28th?
28th.
Any other time when they want a guy to look bad, especially among the fan base, if a Bama asks to be traded, even when dudes don't ask to be traded, they lie and say
Mm-hmm.
somebody asked to be traded. This
Mm-hmm.
man asked on the 2nd of March to be traded, and that joint did not creep out nowhere. They kept that joint all the way tucked in because they know good and damn well if that news comes out and then nobody is even inquiring about it, that's another, it's more evidence of the collusion that's going on behind the
Yeah,
scenes. For that
facts.
not to come out, almost a month ago, Harold, he asked to be traded, and that joint didn't come out nowhere. They leak anything else,
Anything. Bama sneezed in a restaurant and a brawl break out. This
and they
man
kept
was in
that
the
tucked
front.
for a month.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of funny business going on. And other funny business, John Lynch, QB Brock Purdy has earned the right to take that first snap as QB1. I like Brock Purdy. I think he's solid. But come on now. The Batman Joe Montana.
And John Lynch ain't the head coach. What the hell is he out here talking about who earned what?
John Lynch ain't even play quarterback. How you supposed to?
And if that happened here, it's be all blamed on Dan. He's meddling, this, and that. Dog, it's a lot of idiots all across the league. He has no place, no place. Announce like even if that's the feeling in the building, let that come from the head coach's mouth. Let that come from the old coordinator. As a GM, you pick the players. You don't coach. You don't decide who plays. But we know that's really what happens in both leagues. Well, in a lot of sports leagues where the GM meddling in minutes and all that kind of stuff, and that's why you end up with
You
situations like
already
the
know.
Wizards, and it's just
It's a
I hate it
fail.
because it's pick and choose when they want to be outraged by some of this stuff that goes on versus when it's nothing to see here.
The yeah, it don't make sense to me. And Brock Purdy, no knock to him, but John Lynch, like, what do you?
You can
Yeah,
say he played well without having to talk about what he's earned going forward. That's a coach's decision.
mhm. do do you believe um just in going back to the Lamar Jackson situation, do you believe he gets traded?
I don't because I believe they've already colluded. Like the Washington Commanders, because you know they got the owners meeting, so a lot of the head coaches are in that room where they're sitting at the tables, and you know you get a lot of commentary or whatever, or like press,
Hmm.
basically small presses from the coaches. The Commanders came out officially and said Mark Mayhew says that um, the Commanders won't be pursuing Lamar, and then the Jets say, and what's it, Joe Douglas specifically says, "Oh yeah, it's no rush on the Aaron Rodgers thing, but Lamar's not an option." So like here we go. It's the same with the Kaepernick stuff. They think everybody's stupid because most of the that other half of the fans or whatever percentage is stupid, but like everybody knows what's going on here.
Dog,
Everybody knows what's going on here.
this is a situation where players, yeah, this is a situation where the players need to do something.
They
They
won't
need to come together. And yeah, you're right, dog. It's a plantation, dog. It's a plantation.
because
Unfortunately,
they watched them allow it with
I
Cap,
mean,
and they said they not gonna do nothing. They suckers. These Bama's living check to check, and they not gonna make any sacrifice that's gonna affect their bread. So they watched you let us do this to Cap. Oh yeah, they're gonna make an example. He not paying his 10% to that group. He's also not giving, like RG3 was saying, allowing things to be leaked because the information is coming directly from him and not from Adam Schefter
he
and all
not
these other
playing
guys.
ball.
So they pissed and doubling down because don't get me started though. I'm gonna get us banned from YouTube.
Ah, dog. Hey, at some point, y'all gonna look back at this podcast. Dog, the world that we live in about to change completely. It's about to change. Question of the day. So this is interesting because today's question is actually a sports related question that I got in. I'm like, okay, we can do that. We a sports show, Aaron. So that's we can talk sports. I think they want to hear your perspective on it. I, what do you think are the most important qualities that a successful sports team needs to possess, and how do these qualities contribute to achieving consistent success over time?
So is this qualities for like a franchise or just
I'm assuming it's a franchise or a sports team, so it could be basketball, football. You know, those are the major sports that we watching. I mean, maybe college basketball. I don't know, but to have success and then achieving consistent success over time, what's the qualities that you need to have?
I I mean, just from my perspective, there's certain things you need that are minimums,
Hmm.
but I think speaking on or even asking that question from the perspective of someone who potentially roots for a team in this area
Oh
where
my
you got
God,
a bunch of losers, it's not really like the things that should be obvious and minimums. Like when somebody say, "I got a job, I take care of my kids," it's like you supposed to. These are bare minimums. So it's like just a proper hierarchy as far as like we were talking about with John Lynch, like a owner who wants to spend the money, i.e. Wizards. You know what I mean? An owner who wants to spend, who wants to win. A GM who can identify talent or at least delegate to the proper people
Hmm.
and accept their assessments. So player evaluation,
Hmm.
drafting, and that's in any sport, being able to hit. You don't even have to hit half of the time, but you got to be able to hit enough to where your misses
Especially when
aren't so glaring.
you in a position to where the percentages should be in your favor. So
When
if
you're
you
picking
picking at
high,
the top hat of
lottery,
the draft,
yeah,
yeah, you you you
you got
can't
to
be
be able to hit.
botching them Jones. Yeah,
You got to be able to hit, and then after that, competent coaching. And,
competent
and
coaching,
a
dog.
lot of times, from a coaching perspective, it's not even a savant Bill Belichick.
Mm-mm.
What's the guy with the
You can
Spurs?
get in. You can get a playbook from anywhere now. You
Popovich.
can get it.
It's more staying out the way and not. causing more losses
Mm.
based on your ego. If you just say, who are
Ah,
my best players? Oh, I'm
yeah.
gonna go ahead and just roll the ball, let my best players be the best players, and more often than not, you're gonna win. You don't need these extravagant offenses or defenses or
Mm,
schemes. Schemes
mm,
don't win
mm.
you games in modern sports. You need ringers, and then most
Ye-
importantly, you
That's
need
a fact.
ringers. Ringers. You need
You
really
need
good
rings.
players, blue chippers, not these lunch
I
pail
mean,
guys.
it's a benefit to have a scheme for like in such because
When you have
as you
bums, it helps for sure.
yeah. But when you play against the good teams, you're gonna need a little bit of scheming in. That's where you see the coaches
When
get
things
out
are
coach.
equal, when talent is
Yeah,
equal, you definitely need scheme. And when you
yeah,
have less talent, scheme can help. But
yeah.
scheme is not the base. Like that's
Yeah, that's not the big. You need cookers, dog, ringers.
and we understand.
Anybody.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like even when I was hooping, and Babs would be like, "Hey, Laws, you play get down with us, dog." If the team wasn't fit, I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, what guard y'all got over there, Joe? Or y'all got receivers, dog? Y'all got quarterback? Y'all got
Oh
what
no,
y'all
I'm
got?
straight. I'm straight.
I'm good, dog, because it's different. It's
You need
different.
rings.
You need
So
ringers.
so if the standard is like winning a championship, if that's what you mean by success,
Mhm,
you got to have ringers, and you just got to have competency everywhere else. Just
mhm.
competency.
Yeah. Yeah, nah. I said like, especially in college, like you need Babs that can do it. You need competent coaching, you know, and you need somebody who can has a vision for the team and be able to put the right players in place, whether it's recruiting, whether it's drafting, like those things are just very critical. And you're right. If an ego get involved, that junk gonna be all bad. It's gonna be all bad. But yeah, and as long as you have those things in place, like especially if you have a good coach that can relate to the players and get through to them and understand their personalities and like you say, his ego not in the way and can kind of let Bama shine.
Or at least have earned an ego. Like if you win enough at any level, you kind of build up a cachet to where you
Mm-hmm.
kind of warrant being able to say we're gonna do this my way. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've established a standard that works. This is how we're gonna do things. But when you're a loser, a perennial loser, you've been on two different teams, your record under 500 both places, like a Ron Rivera, or some of these other things we see. GMs too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
guys bounce around, player evaluators bounce around, end up on TV, and they talk like, what I mean? They spit in the gospel. Like if you was as like that as you say you are, you be with a team winning chips. So it's just, what I
What's
mean?
the Bama Casserly?
Charlie Casserly, garbage.
Trash. Trash, dog.
And then a lot of times it's like these guys get on TV and everybody think they so smart and so genius. They end up on a team and Bama see it ain't as easy as you thought it was.
Dog. Exactly.
That's why
What
Mel
is your
Kiper kind
thoughts?
of smart because that Bama stayed put. He ain't end up
he
going taking no
said,
job.
I ain't going nowhere.
I'm gonna
I'm
keep
gonna just take this
peddling
nice
these
little
lies on
ESPN
TV.
check. Yeah.
Nobody go back and
No,
check up on my lies.
nobody check
Keep
on
it
my
moving.
lives. I
40
sit
years.
here every year. I get on this jump with my wig piece flaring out and talk about Bama's. I can never even blow a candle next to in anything. And I get to sit up here. He living a life. He
So
living a life, dog.
sometimes one of the awareness of knowing that you not that guy and being able to just say, you know what? Because most egos would be like, you know what, I'm gonna go take one of these jobs and show them that I could, I know what I'm talking about. He like, nah, I'm gonna sit right here, cash these checks, and keep the party going, though.
No, it's safe. No accountability. You can literally say whatever.
There's no
That
penalty
Batman
to
Harold
being
Law is
wrong,
going to be the best quarterback ever came out this year ever.
like you did with Jimmy Clausen.
But
I'll
what's
I'll
going
I'll give up this job if he's not a starting quarterback in such and such years.
to
Then Alabama was a bum and he ain't leave. Just keep it moving, act like it never happened.
happen? Nobody
Accountability
even
free.
bring it up. They don't even bring it up. Babbitt might get fired if they bring it up, like they
Right.
did my man Jim Trotter. So yeah, it don't make any kind of sense, though. Any kind of sense. Uh, what are your thoughts on? It's a lot of people, I'm starting to see it more and more on social media. All of these games where the officiating is trash, Bama's giving Bama's unsolicited texts and kicking them out the game off of fugazi type stuff. Like Bama just be like, what? And he'd be like, you're out of here, buddy. What do you think about this? Is this Stern's orders 2.0? Or is this just the game? Like referees make bad calls and it just is what it is. It is no real big deal with it. I mean, there was a game the other week, last week where the I think the Dallas Mavericks were playing the Golden State Warriors and they didn't inbound the ball. Like I guess they told the sideline that the ball was theirs, and then they was waiting for the ball, and the other team was on the other end, and they just gave the ball to the Warriors, and they just scored an easy layup right under the basket, uncontested. And it was a whole bunch of back and forth with like, how did they do that? Just some calls down the stretch, and it's just funny business after funny business. Do you think that this is just coincidence? Is the league always been like this, or do we got a Tim Donaghy outbreak going on in the NBA? And
What do you say? You always say it's never a coincidence when there's this much money involved. It's never a coincidence. And I just think, I mean, officiating been trash. It's a lot more notoriety though, and so you get egos involved. Guys want to be, they taking stuff personal, acting like people there to see them. Like if a player get too emotional or react a certain way to a call, they think they somebody mother and they want to go get the belt and act like they could punish Bama's. But this stuff been going on. People weren't complaining when they was swallowing Kobe, and then they had these Bama's fleecing the Sacramento Kings in the playoffs when the refs was pulling all them scams because they wanted to root for the Lakers and they wanted to root for Kobe. So I mean, I don't want to hear it now. This
so
stuff
I,
been
I
going on.
so I put in Google like when did NBA refs get paid? According to reports, the starting salary for NBA referee is around 150K per year, while senior refs can earn upwards of 500K per year or more. In
Sheesh.
addition to the base salary, NBA referees receive a comprehensive benefits package, including health insurance, retirement plans, and travel allowances.
That players are paying for. So
It's worth noting that the NBA referees also work on per game basis, and their pay can increase based on the number of games they officiate each season. This is why these Jones be going seven games, Aaron. I need another check. Additionally, they may receive bonuses for working playoff games and championship series. Overall, NFL refereeing is a highly lucrative profession, but it requires a great deal of training. Stop it, dog.
stop it. They always gotta give these Bama's some kind of extra credit,
No, stop
sticking them
it.
in there somewhere. Paul,
I mean, don't get it twisted. I think you got to know the game and know what calls to make and stuff
it's
like that in
easier than
situations.
cooking French fries at McDonald's, but come on now, this is
Dog,
not.
cooking the fries in the air fryer. Dog, this joke not rocket science, bro. It's a foul
You got all you
on
need is
number
a
32.
brisk jog up and down the court, be in enough shape to do that joint because they got Bama's
That's
that be
it.
60, 70 out there. Stop it.
I got a hat
Right.
on number 2.
And the fans be basically reffing at home. You be at the basketball
Dog,
court, you be like,
yeah.
oh, he got fouled. Like all you would you just calling fouls? Stop it.
Ah,
Stop it.
the- God. I could do this.
For
Aaron, I know all
500K?
the signs. I know all the signs.
Yeah, 500K. Let's
I
get
got
it.
a hole. Number 21. Hey, reset the clock. I know all the signs. I'm about to go referee school. Make my little $50, $60 a game refereeing, dog. That's all the jobs about to be left in a minute, Aaron. Just
They-
I'm gonna pick up all them jobs, dog. I mean, refereeing everything, dog.
but
Them
for real,
jobs,
that joint need to get moved over to AI. It would be
dog.
too
How you
objective
gonna?
then. They can't have the
Hey,
league orders with the AI. So that
no,
joint
they
always gonna be
can't.
manual.
Wow, that was ain't gonna be touching nobody.
No, that joint to clean the game right up quick.
No, This Bama Steph Curry be averaging 100 points, dog. Because you can't get nowhere close to that Bama, dog.
Or
You know
Shaq.
they try,
Imagine
you know
Shaq.
they try, you know they trying to bring the technologies into the game, but they trying to hold it back. Because if you ain't got a Bama out there on payroll where Mike Francisco and them Bama's can't get to, you need a Bama. You type of, hey, we got your wife and kids. Hey, you already know what to do. You know me. I'm Stearns orders all day, conspiracy theorists all day. It's too much bread at stake.
Nothing a chance. And they just approved where this season coming up, the NFL teams can have betting in the stadiums on Sunday. That's what we was talking about earlier. It's gonna be brouhahas all out in the parking lot after the game.
No, I'm going opposite all the public. That's the thing too. Like I tell people, the jump with the sports betting is so crucial. Is that like them Bama's in the control center, they can see all the numbers, all the money that come in for every game. They be like, oh, this game, oh, the public here, they 60% here. They don't gotta win all the games. They just win one or two per week. Oh, public is 70% on this jump. Go ahead, flip the switch.
Easy money.
This the one right here. Easy money. This jump connected to 80% of the parlays as a done deal. Go ahead, flip the switch. That's the only one we need. We don't need the other ones. It's that simple. It's that simple. So wait until the playoffs start. That's all I'm gonna say. Better go to the other side. Look at the NCAA tournament, how they did that jump. Dog, all the number one teams gonna lose. All the top seeds out of there, Aaron.
Out of there.
Come on now. You mean to tell me Park Crest Heights better than Texas and Alabama? Like they just putting random Joe Smoke and they just couch it in the Cinderella. Yeah, I got a Cinderella for you, all right. It's called funny business. They don't care about them kids. They just trying to get the bread. Crazy, bro. Crazy. Anything else going on? Like I said, I've been in a rock, dog. I don't know what's going on.
They also changed the rule for the cut down. They don't have to do it like go to from 90 to like 80 to
The
70
56.
to 53.
Uh-huh.
Now they could go from 90 to 53 at the very end of the preseason. So it's going to be a lot of angry Bamas at the end of the
Dog. First of
preseason.
all, if you playing football, dog, you can get seriously injured in that whole process. You gonna be out that jump.
I think they intentionally did that for because when you get to the end of the preseason and most of your starters not playing, they got a lot of Bamas, even the vets that's kind of on the fringe out there playing basically, what I mean, whole games at the end of the preseason.
So they don't want to do that. They want to let the young people try and earn spots because you're just gonna preserve your veterans. You're gonna be like, hey, you don't have to play. You don't have to play. We're gonna put these young boys out there.
And it kind of drives the price of the brick down too because
Mhm.
as players are getting released gradually, you got teams picking them up. I mean, you get to the end of the preseason, typically you got Bamas that pretty much going to be, what I mean, stacking boxes and stuff like that at the end of the joint. When you
Yeah. They
cutting
going back. They
everybody
going
at the
back to
same time
Amazon
at the
right
end,
after the.
you're going to have players more desperate, you know what I mean? And then teams can just take younger guys for cheaper versus bringing a lot of these vets back on because you got to basically catch on to a brand new team with the season starting next week, kind of sort of. So it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of plays out.
That's definitely gonna be interesting. They pick? Have they picked the Hard Knocks team yet?
You know who it's going to be, dog. They just waiting
Stop
for
it.
the announcement of the new ownership, dog. You know who it's going to be.
Oh, stop
You know who it's going to be.
it. No, I don't. They trying to hold on. I know they trying to hold on. Dan, just hold on to the date come where they have to pick one of these other teams. Who is it? The Colts? Somebody like
It's like
who the only team?
3 or
It's like
4 teams, I
14.
think, in
Yeah, that
Washington,
haven't
one
done
of
it. The Raiders, are they one of them? God.
it could be the Raiders. I don't remember seeing the Raiders on there. I did see the Colts. They had the Colts on there last year or something. During the
Okay.
season joint, I think.
Oh yeah. If you're gonna be on there during the season jump, is probably the way to go. So they putting 2 teams on there. So now they picking 2 teams to be on a Hard
They
Knocks
do
jump.
one at the for the training camp, and then they do one during the
Oh, then
season.
we stuck then.
What is it called? Hard Knocks. Let me see.
Yeah, Hard Knocks. Because I don't know, bro.
So you got the Bears. No, you got the Saints,
Oh.
Commanders, Jets, and Bears.
Jets could get it if they get AR. They get Aaron Rodgers, they make
You
that
know they
jump.
going, yeah.
They
And if
going on
Washington get
there.
new ownership,
Yeah, they wait, but they going if we don't get ownership like in enough time, then they just going to select the Jets. They waiting though. You right, they waiting.
or
Dan, hold on, Dan.
the Bears, I think I could see them being an easy team that
Hmm.
basically wouldn't be able to protest, and it'd be a safe pick. But the Saints, it's no chance. It's
Hmm.
no chance.
No chance. No chance. Yeah, I think that's all, dog. Follow us at OSS 980 at Other Side of Sports. Subscribe to the channel, share the content. Um, we the only Bama's out here keeping it authentic, keeping it real. Shout out to Where's Buffy. Shout out my man, Ill Fam. Had a birthday this past or last week, the weekend that just passed. Shout out to him. That's my good brother. Appreciate all the support over the years of just being a good man. Uh Shout out to Sports Talk Tasha. You seen Tasha podcast, Joe?
She
They
got a
rocking and
podcast?
rolling. Yeah, she on a podcast down in Miami. They rocking and rolling, dog. They talking about all type of stuff.
No, I ain't never seen it, joint.
Yeah, I send it to you. Yeah, they having some interesting conversations about a lot of different things. So it's good. I don't have a name, otherwise I'll just shout it out. But shout out to the Sports Talk Tasha. Shout out to Jenna Garcia. Shout out to Lance J. Shout out to my man Wes, my man Chris. We gotta get Jeremy John. I ain't heard from my man Jeremy John in a minute.
He in the vortex? What's going on?
I don't know. I gotta check in on my man Jeremy. Jeremy, hit me, bro. Hit me. And we out.